Hi guys, thanks so much for stopping by. So today I will be doing a movie review, and this is called Midsommar. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It could be Midsommar. Midsummer. So this is rated R and it runs for 2 hours 27 minutes. It's drama, horror, mystery, and this was released back in July 3, 2019. A couple travels to Sweden to visit the rural hometown's fabled Midsummer Festival. What begins as an idyllic retreat quickly devolves into an increasingly violent and bizarre competition at the hands of a pagan cult. Okay. I didn't read this. I just remember, I think YouTube suggested, or there was a trailer or something for it, and I watched the trailer or teaser, and I just, we had the time to watch it, and we did. And I remember my husband was just like, just pick a movie in our movie night, and I said Midsommar, and he had no idea what it was. He's like, I don't really care what you're gonna pick. If you're just gonna pick one, I don't really care. So I popped this up. I wasn't really sure if he was gonna, want to watch it and anything, but he didn't really have a lot of questions, so I'm like, score. So we watched this. I think that the info on IMDb.com is pretty misleading. And I'm glad I didn't read it before I watched it, because I love to be surprised and shocked and actually go in the journey when I'm watching a movie and TV shows, especially now. I don't want to know so much about it. I want to do the blind watch, the blind experience, because I feel like if I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like this. It just feels like, it kind of feels as if I'm expecting a lot, and it could just be the trailer was showing a certain way when the movie really wasn't, you know what I mean? Or the info on IMDb is, described this way. I feel like this is very misleading. I do not agree with the synopsis on IMDb at all, so I don't know why they put that there. Anyway, I recommend this movie a lot. It's very different. It's very freaking scary, scary, gory, crazy scary, petrifying scary. And the weirdest thing is that this is gonna be a little bit of a spoiler. Now, if you've never lived in a place like Sweden or Norway, Scandinavian, or certain parts of Canada or Alaska. I've lived in Alaska, and they have the same thing, where summer it just kind of goes to dusk, and then you never really get a full nighttime, and then that's for the summer months, and then for the winter months you never really get sunshine. It's usually dark. That's why there's a lot of people that usually go into depression. Side note. Anyway, I believe that kind of aspect in there also kind of gives you an extra freaky sense in a way, because you have to add the element of, when you're in that state, and I've lived in that kind of weather, it really is hard to adapt when you're new to that. If you weren't born and raised there, or you didn't grow up there in a very young age, that you were able to acclimate. When you're a young child, you acclimate pretty quickly. When you go to a different place and you're already 15 or 20 years old, at that kind of range, it's harder to acclimate. So with that said, the people that are Americans that went to Sweden in this story, they're in grad school. Now, when you're in grad school, you'd be in your mid-20s. So it's harder to really kind of adapt to that kind of lifestyle and weather. And I do believe that really does mess with your head, psychologically and emotionally and mentally, because of the fact that your body's not used to that kind of sleeping pattern, where you really can't truly sleep, and it can be really hard. So I feel like that really did add a huge element to the story, which makes it even extra freaky, because because of the fact that, you know, a lot of horror and scary stories are usually made at night, and this is, everything is bare, everything is during the day. So you're really not doing like, oh my god, what would be behind there, what would be, you're not really doing that, because you can see everything. And the way the weather would be at that moment in the year is that it feels, and it is so bright, it feels like it's noon. It's like literally the noon hour, from like 12 p.m. to 12:59, like the highest point of the sun anywhere in the world. Like if you go to the tropics, that's the highest. If you're in North America, that's the highest point, and it's like that for like 22 hours, depending on if you're before or after the solstice, the summer solstice. So before the summer solstice, so when it hits the summer solstice, you get like the shortest amount of darkness. Before you get to that, you get more, a little bit more darkness, and you get less. You hit the summer solstice. The day after, literally, you actually gain a little bit more light, like in minutes, in time. So this is exactly what they're experiencing, because they're in the Midsummer Festival. I recommend this thing 100%. I recommend this movie 100%. I give this 5 out of 5 stars. My husband, who is like the biggest freaking critic, he was freaked out after the movie. He was like, what the F? What is that movie? That freaked me out. Like, what kind of movie was that? You know, he's like, you know, sometimes you pick like the best movie, sometimes you pick like the freakiest movie, like, oh my god, like, and what an awesome reaction from him, because I tell you, he is like the king of scary and freaky movies, and he usually like would rate stuff at like 1 out of 10, because he is so jaded. But with this, it's so different, but it's so petrifying, and oh my god, definitely recommend. Halloween's gonna be tomorrow, so watch this. If you're, you know, if you're looking for a scary movie, or you feel like it, you can watch it. You can watch it any time of the year. What would be great if, like, you also even like, I might even want to watch this again at like a late, you know, you can't watch a scary movie every week. You gotta switch it up. So maybe I think the next time I'll probably watch this would be like summer, next summer, because it would be like super freaky and super fun. I think. Definitely give it 2 thumbs up. 5 out of 5 stars. Phenomenal, freaking freaky, scary, gory, crazy, like just like different crazy elements in it. A lot of very unexpected things happen, like cringe moments. Like seriously, there was because there's a part of it that's like, I really hid behind a pillow because I had to watch it a second time around, because I tried to watch it by myself, and then the second time I didn't finish it. You know, life happens. I wasn't able to finish it, so I watched it all over again with my husband the second time around, and there were just some parts that I just could not rewatch, but I was still like freaked out completely. So yeah, completely recommend. Awesome movie, freaking scary as shit. So there you go. If you guys have other recommendations of movies that I might enjoy, something similar to this, that would be like completely unexpected, unpredictable, just beautifully scary, just petrifying, like, oh my god, scary. Like, I swear, I felt like I was jolted. I felt like I was jolted after the entire movie. Like, I remember literally after the movie, like the credits came out, my husband and I just kind of sat there like this. And then about a minute or two, he stood up and he's like, oh my gosh, that was freaking freaky. The freakiest thing ever. So yes, I read everybody's comments. So any kind of recommendation, you want to chit chat about this movie, let me know down below. I love hearing from you guys all the time. Thanks guys, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.